Hi guys, today we're going to be doing something fun and exciting and new. We just talk about Colourpop nail polish. You guys are all probably well familiar with Colourpop by now. They make really wonderfully pigmented and beautiful makeup products for a very budget-friendly price, and they have just started making nail polishes. They have a $6 price tag and they do ship US only. There is no international shipping for these nail polishes right now. So there are 4 creams in here, one duochrome topper and a linear holographic, which is exciting, especially considering that there is a $6 price tag. So that's pretty awesome. The reason why I mention that is because the property to make a linear holographic polish is somewhat more expensive. So that is nice that they included one of those in here. So we're going to go ahead and do live application like we always do. I did purchase these directly from their website and they do have free shipping. Is it over $35 or something? So I did get these shipped to me for free as well, which was nice. I went over the packaging and everything on my Snapchat. Their packaging was gorgeous. They had these cute little, was it like a light turquoise box, and they had this soft touch feel to them. Oh, it was just, I loved it. And inside there were little polka dots. I loved it. It was such cute packaging. And we might as well talk about the bottles here. They are short little square bottles, similar to Square Hue or Super Chick Lacquer, and they do have these small, they're on the small side. The reason why this feels a little bit smaller, you will see, because the brush is short so that it fits in this kind of shorter little stout bottle. So in any case, the cap is this kind of industrial matte feeling cap, and like I said, the wand is just it's a little bit on the short side, but it's manageable. I didn't have any issues with painting these. I'm going to start with the holographic because why not? That's probably the polish that most people are interested to see how that's going to perform. It is a straight up silver linear holographic. It doesn't have any shimmer or anything in there to make it shift any different colors besides just the beautiful rainbow of a linear holographic. It's already colorful enough, but lots of indie brands do these shifting pigments inside silver linear holographics to make them look different colors. That's why I mentioned that. So this one's called One Wish, Two Wish, and I found this to be kind of sheer on the first coat, but it was totally buildable, a very nice, easy to work with formula. So I went ahead and built this up on 3 coats, and that was where it was, you know, the opacity level that I felt the best with. So that's what I would recommend. Here's 3 coats, and my swatch photo is going to be 3 coats with a top coat. So I did really like this because it does take a little bit of extra coats to get the opacity here. I think that's where they were able to make this still be able to market for you for $6 a bottle, because it doesn't really have the same pigmentation that you would find, you know, in kind of any other indie brand, for example. Not to say that this is a bad polish. I do really like it, and it's $6, so that's pretty great. But if you've tried something like Super Chick Lacquer or Cupcake Polish, or, you know, they have these really richly pigmented 1-coat linear holographics. So that's what I'm kind of comparing it to. I can't really forget about all my past experiences with linear holographics when I'm coming, you know, at this polish with a review. So that's why I feel only kind of so-so about this polish. But I am glad that they included a linear holographic, if that means that it's somebody's first experience with linear holographic because they want to try it knowing Colourpop's name, you know what I mean? So anyway, I do like this polish. It's not my favorite because you have to build it up with 3 coats, but I did still think that it's a nice polish. It is very holographic, so I do enjoy that. Let's do the duochrome next. I was really excited to see this one in here as well. Basically, they have a pink. It says duochrome on their website, but for me it was almost like pink to gold to green, which would therefore make it a multi-chrome, but they're describing it as a duochrome, so I'm going to trust what they're saying there. As with any multi-chrome iridescent pigment in a nail polish, if you put it over black or something very, very dark, you're going to get the best effect and really be able to see how, you know, something is going to shift. So I'm showing it to you over black. I also swatched it over the green though, just to kind of see how it played with the other polishes in the collection. And while it looks very beautiful, it's not as easy to, you know, pick out what the shifty quality of this topper is. Mostly it just looks beautifully shimmery. But like I said, if you put it over something dark, you will see that shift quite a bit easier, and I really did like this. I enjoyed this quite a bit. It reminded me a lot of the purple polishes that China Glaze has been doing lately with the purple and the duochrome shiftiness in there. You guys know what I'm talking about? They're purple toppers. Like this one, for example. This one is Don't Mesh With Me, where it just has, it's purple, but it's also gold. So it's the same kind of idea, but this one's pink. So I did enjoy this. It's called I Wand It That Way, and I thought this was really cute. All right, let's talk about the creams. So the first one I'm going to show you is the pink, because I always just go through rainbow order with my polishes. It just helps me keep things straight. This one's called Be Fairy Afraid. This is the one that I would probably say you really don't need to pick up in this collection. There are so many pastel pinks out there in the nail polish world by now that a 3-coater pastel pink, even for $6, I don't really think you need to grab it unless you are like an avid Colourpop collector, which if you are, I mean, I would love to see your collection, because that means you just have so much Colourpop makeup. I mean, if you collect every single thing that they do, that would probably be the only reason I would recommend this polish to you. It wasn't bad, it's just that there are so many polishes, like I said, that look exactly like this and are going to make you have to try to build it up in 3 coats and still maybe see a little bit of streakiness. So I don't know, if you don't mind those 3 coats though, and you're just really in love with the shade and don't think you have anything else like it, for $6, I mean, it's still fine. Like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't an unusable polish by any means. I just mean, you know, you probably have something like this that swatches a little bit better and gives you a little bit more opacity and less coats. So my swatch photo of Be Fairy Afraid is 3 coats with top coat. The next cream is this beautiful pastel green, and this is increasing in formula opacity here a little bit. Not quite as awesomely opaque as this blue. This one was a 1-coater, but we'll get there. We're getting ahead of ourselves. This one is called Dust a Dream, and yeah, I mean, it's a pastel green. It's nothing you haven't seen before, but I think that they probably didn't want to go too crazy with their first collection. That's what I'm guessing. And they wanted to give something that they're like the age range that they know that most of their fan base is, that they would probably like. If you are an avid nail polish collector, I'm sure you have something like this. This one, like I said, it did build up in opacity a little bit better than the pink. I like this at 2 coats. You could maybe go for a 3rd though if you weren't really 100% comfortable with those 2 coats, but it is pretty good at 2. So this one is Dust a Dream, and I did top coat on my swatch as well. Okay, so next we're going to look at the blue, and this one is the one that is strongly pigmented. So I noticed on their website that they say, what is the phrasing that they use? Super pigmented polish. So this one is a super pigmented polish. I didn't really feel like any of the other ones were super pigmented polishes. In my opinion, a super pigmented polish means that there's enough pigment in there that it's a 1-coat polish. And honestly, after swatching all of these, this one, Pixie-lated, with a little hyphen after the pixie, which is really cute. It was. You could probably go for a 2nd. In fact, in the live application, I went ahead and showed you a 2nd just to make sure I had everything 100% opaque there. But if you wanted to get away with 1 coat, this would be the polish to do it. So I guess given that, I would recommend this as one of the top polishes of their you know, the first 6 premier polishes. So yes, this is Pixie-lated, and it's going to be 2 coats with top coat for my photo. Alright, and last up we have this beautiful purple. And these are all very beautiful colors, don't get me wrong. I'm just suggesting to you, you know, what my feelings are after swatching them. And you're taking a look at live application to see for yourself how they apply. So this last one is called First Wings First. And this is just a beautiful pastel purple. It's just like a lilac shade, and it gets nice at 2 coats. It's pretty similar to the green in opacity. So yeah, I thought this was nice. It wasn't anything really new to me, but it is a very beautiful purple with a lot of white in it. So yeah, I like this at 2 coats. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this review. Thanks to all of you who requested that I make this video. It always helps me out when you guys let me know what it is you want to see on this channel, so I can make sure to pick up the collections that you are actually interested in. So I hope this helped you know whether these are all must-haves or whether there's maybe 1 or 2 that you really want to snag. So I will, as always, link down in the description bar below where I went to purchase the collection. And I think that's going to be it. So thanks for coming to spend some of your time with me today. I really appreciate it. And I will see you back for the next video. Take care. Bye!